Okay, we'll kick off this webinar. Welcome to MCB's webinar for event planners, the September edition. Welcome to spring. It's lovely to have some beautiful weather here in Melbourne today, and I hope it's nice where you are as well. My name's Joanna, and I'm the Director of Corporate Meetings and Incentives at MCB. And today we have three wonderful partners to present to you, some really exciting things to share with you. Before we start, I would like to acknowledge that I am hosting this webinar from the lands of the Wurundjeri people and extend that acknowledgement to the traditional custodians of the various lands that you are joining us from today. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and celebrate the diversity of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and their ongoing cultures and connections to the lands and waters of Victoria, all from wherever you are joining us from today. So today's webinar, we have, as I said, we have three of our great partners joining us. We have Amora Riverwalk Hotel. Michelle and Meg will present on that wonderful property and the recent renovations that have just been done there. Then we have, as I've got Nikki, sorry, it's actually Ha joining us today from Otao Kitchen School, special guest appearance, a wonderful team building and incentive product that we have in the heart of Melbourne. So it's fantastic if you're looking at perhaps a corporate meeting or incentive opportunity for your staff or your association coming up. It's a great opportunity with them. Some really interactive activities and experiences that they have on offer. And then we have the wonderful Stephen from Zoos Victoria. Melbourne and Victoria are very blessed to have three of the great zoos of the world. And Stephen will tell us all about the myriad of opportunities and experiences to be had at Zoos Victoria. If you have any questions at all, please just pop them into the box. We'll have the Q&A box obviously below. We'll have a Q&A session at the end, and we'll be able to answer all of your questions. We'll also send out the presentations and all of the information from the presentations today directly to you, so you'll be able to catch up with any of the fabulous presenters that we have directly should you choose to do so. So we might just remind you before we get going that MCB is here to help you. We have a number of support services available to help event organisers plan their next event. So whether it be venue and destination assistance or referrals, itinerary creations, inspiration for site inspections, some sample itineraries, etc. We have all of that, and we are happy to provide you with those services free of charge. So please head to our website or email us, and we're more than happy to work with you on being able to host your next event in Melbourne. I know we're all very much looking forward to 2022, and hopefully we'll definitely get to start seeing some great meetings and events happening in person as we all hit those vaccine targets that we're all marching towards. So hopefully there's a little bit of hope on the horizon in the near future. So we will kick off with the wonderful Amora Hotel. So ladies, if you'd like to share your screen. That's looking good, coming through nicely. There you go. You can just take yourselves off mute and you're ready to go.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Michelle, the Senior Sales Manager at Amora Hotel Riverwalk, Melbourne, with my colleague Meg, the Event Sales Manager, and I'll run through the first part, just some general information and rooms on the hotel very quickly, and then Meg will move on to the event side of the spaces at the hotel. So I'm just going to set an alarm for myself so we don't go over time. Okay. Yeah, welcome to the new Amora Hotel Riverwalk, Melbourne. Last year we did a ground floor renovation and it's changed the whole look and feel of the hotel. We spent $5 million renovating the lobby, the restaurant, the kitchen, reception, and we built a brand new events pavilion in the centre of the hotel. So Meg will go into more details about that as well. So that finished in January 2020, just in time for coronavirus, which has been great. So the hotel has 111 accommodation rooms, restaurant, 2 hotel bars, 2 outdoor courtyards, 1 at either end of the pavilion. We're sitting at one end of the pavilion at the moment, looking out onto the courtyard overlooking O'Connell Reserve down to the river. usual hotel guest laundry, undercover parking, which is always essential for lots of events. So we've got over 160 spaces underneath the hotel. So lots of parking, as well as street parking around the hotel as well. And 15 events spaces plus the events pavilion. So I'll quickly go through the new lobby, what it looks like. So nice, relaxed feel, quite expansive. We've moved the reception desk and it's just a whole new look and feel, taken the ceiling out of the hotel, put in a fireplace, so it looks fantastic. Done by the same architects that did the SB Hotel in St Kilda. In terms of location, we're just 3.5 kilometres east of Melbourne, for those that don't know. On Bridge Road, just opposite the Bridge Hotel, just a stone's throw away from the city. Lots of restaurants, cafes, breweries, gin distilleries, and trams on the doorstep. And just looking back, you can see the city skyline in the background for the hotel. So right next door to a park, which is great for team building activities, and just down to the Yarra River. So the rooms, we've got a number of different room types. I'll run through these very quickly. The first one is our courtyard queen room with balcony. That's our leading room type. Then we have twin rooms, courtyard king room with balcony, king room with spa bath and balcony. So all these room types have balconies. And it's just this room type, the Riverview Spa Suite, that does not have a balcony. And that has a separate lounge room and a separate bedroom. Oops, I went too far. One bedroom loft apartments with balconies, has a separate lounge room with a kitchenette. And then we have 2 bedroom apartments with balconies. And that's a combination of 2 room types, the Superior King room with spa and also the 1 bedroom loft apartment upstairs. So it's a dual key. So we can sell these rooms individually or open up the internal interconnecting door and sell it as a 2 bedroom. The Reserve restaurant was renovated, much more modern space. And we also have the Octagon room at the end of the restaurant, which can be used as part of the restaurant. It can be used as a private dining room, or it can be used as a meeting room. So that's a very flexible space, that one. And the 2 courtyards, one overlooking O'Connell Reserve and the other one, the one closer to the lobby end, that has its own water feature. And the pavilion has concertina doors that open up at either end that can go right out onto either courtyard or both. Hotel put in a new gym back in 2019. And then we move on to the meeting and events facilities that Meg will go through with you.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. So this is a floor plan of the hotel's ground level. So this shows our 15 different event spaces, including the new event pavilion. So the ground level has all our function rooms, restaurant, lobby, the courtyards, all on the ground level there. So moving on to the first function room, the bridge room. So it has floor to ceiling windows. It's equipped with audio-visual equipment. Then we've got our Yarra room. And like all our function rooms, they've got plenty of natural light, but you also have the electronic blinds in there as well. Then we go through to the bridge and Yarra room. So we've got the divider, which can be opened up to make one large space. This is, ideal for your larger conferences. We do dinners in here as well. It's also got vehicle access, so great for car launches. We also, a few years ago, put in new carpet. Last year we did painting, and before that we did do put through all electronic lines through there. Then we move into the Hawthorn room, which is more a medium-sized room. So it's good for your board meetings. It can also be divided into 3 separate rooms. So great for little breakout spaces using that room. Then we've got the park room. which we do small board meetings, also smaller dinner events and cocktail parties. It has direct access to the courtyard, and it is all glassed and looks out over O'Connell Reserve, so a great space there. We also have Banks Room, which is one of the smaller rooms, again, good for board meetings and breakout room. And lastly, we've got the new event pavilion here, which is a very flexible space. It does have a bar, which also operates into the restaurant as well as the event pavilion. As Michelle mentioned, it does have the bifold doors each end, which opens out into the courtyard. So we get a lot of bookings for weddings in here, as well as you've got your trade shows, cocktail parties, gala dinners. So it's quite a light and bright space. It's equipped with heating, cooling, audio-visual equipment. It's got a great sound system, so for presentations, connecting entertainment too. We work with MAV as well to do hybrid events. So all our conference rooms can do that. This event space also has 4 private dining rooms that can also open out into the event pavilion if more space is needed. So this is one of the private dining rooms. So yeah, it can be opened up or can be divided off for a small dinner or a little board meeting in there. Then we've got our private jetty here, which is good for corporate events, as well as weddings, which can hire boats to and from the city. And then it's just a short walk up to the hotel there. And then we've got with all the different properties with the Amora group. So we've also got a property in Sydney and in Brisbane, and then 3 in Thailand there as well. And then lastly, just our contact information there. So, and that's everything.
Fantastic. Thank you, ladies. Really a wonderful option for us and for some great events. All right, we've got Otao Kitchen now.
Thank you.
Ha, would you like to share your screen and we'll get going?
Sure, we do. All right, you see okay there?
Yes, we can. You just want to put that into play. Yeah, perfect. Lovely. Thank you.
All right, so hi everyone. So my name is Chef Ha, and I'm a founder for Otao Kitchen. Nikki was about to be with you today, but then she was a bit, she had a little surgery thing, and then so she won't be with us today, but that's okay. She got an operation last night, and then it seemed like a very speedy recovery. So what Otao Kitchen do? We actually start the cooking schools roughly in 2014, and we mainly do cooking classes, so that event as well as business team buildings, corporate event, a lot of it with we also run a schedule of weekend class, so that's what we do. So we are a place that you can have really good sort of experience with multicultural food. So we currently do a new venue. So the venue is started just in time for the lockdown number 6. It's different with Amora, where the year before, but we just put in $400,000 over to get the cooking school, so we can cater up to 40 people. We got a bit of a back in the back sort of laneway that we can do some sort of overflow, so we can do up to 60. So we're on Victoria Street in Richmond, Aberford. So we're actually on the Aberford side, so it's about 3 km away from Melbourne. So it's a great sort of little space that you can take a very short tram ride or Uber ride from the city as well. So the menu, we do cooking class again, and now we run some sort of online event. I'll talk a little bit about it later on, but that's how it sort of work. So our products are cooking class, so we run that through Thursday to Sunday. So if you are in town and you have you have something we want to do something in the evening, that's where you actually just do the cooking class. But in that you can actually learn and explore different culture and how the food that sort of bring it in. It's a great sort of, we run that with schedule it, so it's not like we're not running every week we run sort of different classes, because we run about more than a dozen of different menus now. So that way then you can choose any class, and quite popular for people would have no like not in the group, so they can join in with other people. The next one is number 3 there on the top. You can see the business event. So very simple event planning, so all inclusive. So we got food, we got wine, we got entertainment, we got the venues that we can book, and that's where you get everything in one go. So you don't have to do other things. So normally great for the afternoon after your meeting in the morning, or I can do the morning and take the afternoon for some other activity, or else you can do the evening. So it's kind of they're very flexible. That way then people can mainly sort of do that because they lead on to their sort of meal time. So that's a good sort of way to go. Because of the COVID lockdown, so and all these things, we run a very busy schedule on online class, and we run that for corporate, and currently we actually send out the kit that can be people can stay and cook from home. The great sort of opportunity for people to explore their local supermarkets and local groceries and things, and then be able to cook at home. So that's the thing to do. The strongest business for us is the gift vouchers. So normally the weekend, so you can actually the corporates and they can send out the staff with gift voucher, Christmas and other things. So that's the way they can sort of go. Now with online class, so we can actually reach Australia wide, and we do some classes for New Zealand and America. We haven't sent the kit in yet, so we're going to do something that we might be able to work through that. But in Australia wide, we send the kits out now. So the next thing we have is the why people choose us. We have this sort of because cooking is next to quite a unique and organic way to entertain and to create story and give that sort of really unique sort of experience. Because of our class also hands-on, so it's very authentic. So they can kind of, you know, Asian recipe can involve 25 ingredients, and they can see, they can cook it, they can cut it, and then they can do everything with it. Then they can have that really sort of nice sort of hands-on experience. We are local as well. So Victoria Street is known for, and North Richmond is known for many years with the Asian culture and produce and market and shops and things. So that way, the great opportunity to sort of explore the area. And we've got beautiful bars in along Victoria Street and Bridge Road, and we've got the Amora Hotel right there on Bridge Road, not very far from us. We actually do recommend Amora Hotel, and on Victoria Street there was a Quest Hotels as well. So if you book locally, you can enjoy it that way, and also that very short drive from the CD. So quite often that about 50% of our customers are first time for cooking class, and they ask many questions, including how difficult that is. It's very easy entry level. So you got the ingredient, you got the chef, so it's quite easy. They come in, have a drink, and do the you know, the cooking. Some of the corporate, we actually streamline the menu so that way then make it easier for them to cook and chill and cook and enjoy themselves, rather than have to have a long, lengthy sort of prep time. So that make it's a bit more fun and interactive sort of experience. Again, everything inclusive, so that make it easier for planning and budgeting as well. So with COVID is on everybody's mind at this stage, and we one of those business that was affected. That's the reason why we invest into a new venue. So we got more space, and so that way then we can work onto social distancing. And of course, we do all the other practices that we can do with other things, depend on the government restrictions. So our staff actually all vaccinated. So it's myself, and I got we lose a couple of staff casual one during the lockdowns and thing, but most our staff now has got vaccination, so that make it a bit safe. and also that we train in COVID safe. It's good. The next thing is also quite often that the corporates and people worry about the booking and they can't cancel, they can't do things. So we've gone into very flexi sort of type booking. We work with so many corporates over the year that if they book in, they can't do it, and then we can delay the time. And then now after the lockdown, people get sick of it, then we convince them to convert into the kits and things that they can do it at home. They still have the experience, but not 100%. But then we can also involve into some like gin testing class and wine testing and chocolate testing and other things. A part of it, so keep it more sort of interactive, and also the gift voucher business that we would work with customers so they don't feel like they have expires on them. So then they have to rush in to redeem it or something. So it's a few questions to have a bit of fun. So we have few of these things, and then I talked about it early on, and then now I just sort of give you a bit of a think, and then I'll pick the answer in the next slides. Okay, so you got to use them. So we actually use our class very popular with dumplings, Japanese and Thai and Vietnamese that kind of account for most of our business. That where mainly is Asian cooking. We do a bit of Italian, Spanish, and Mexican, but mainly still that Asian class. And we sort of see that out of the corporates, about 30% of our business is the corporate, and then the other third of it is the couple sort of coming and joining us. So there's a smaller number of single sort of people. So that's why they all cook at a couple for our class as well. And a lot of the business in gift, and the online class now is a popular one. Is the dumpling. So work it out. So we have some sort of customer thing. They tend to enjoy. So that's their own words. That they tend to enjoy the class. They really enjoy it as a team or a single sort of person. We have really good reviews on TripAdvisor if you're looking for it. So you can sort of look it up, Google and other things, but TripAdvisor is the way to go. Lastly, what we can offer you is that we can, at the moment, currently as a setting, we can offer corporate and events sort of organizer with online event. We can work in with your online that you already got the programming, you can do that. And then quite often that the ingredients, that's a hardy thing, they already have them. We spend a lot of time to redesign our menu, so that's why they can work with Coles and Woolly, which is a Australian supermarket, and New Zealand would work with I think in New Wars and the other one I can't remember, but that can work because they have the ingredient in there, so it's quite easy. So going to the end of the year, we can work out with the business event if we can have a opportunity to do the in-person class, especially Christmas team building and things quite popular for us. We're happy to partner or work with other food and wine in the regional sort of area where we got the expertise that we can run your event, and also we got chefs and other things that we can help out as well. Our venue is this amazing opportunity to do your product launch, filming or other produce sort of work. We actually work with a lot of chefs and things to do pop-up. So that's a great way to, if you need to have a hand, we can just talk to me or Nikki. Lastly, I started the business in 2014 after working in New Zealand and Australia. And I thought, people keep asking me, and then therefore I thought that cooking and eating is a great sort of a having experience. And so we had the passion to share that. So we love to be able to share that with you and your team. And if any question or things that you can have, you can reach it out to us or visit our website. And that way, then you can sort of any question be fine. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I wish you well.
Thanks, Ha. Thank you very much. And for those that have asked questions, we'll just hold those over to the end, but we'll definitely come back to you. So now we'll move on to Steve from Zoos Victoria. He's got some gorgeous photos to share with us and a great product update.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Kia ora. Hope you're all doing well in whatever part of the world you're at, lockdown or not. Just sharing this. Hopefully that's coming up now. Okay, so as I said, my name is Steve Peppard from Zoos Victoria. I'm the Tourism Business Development Manager at the zoos, and generally you can find me at Melbourne Zoo. Unfortunately, for the last 18 months, you find me at home most of the time, but generally at Melbourne Zoo. Just to let you know, we are a government organisation. We're a not-for-profit organisation. We're set up, obviously, to look after the 3 zoos that we have, and we're committed to fighting wildlife extinction. So it's a very important fact that I want to get across. We have identified 27 species of animals that we're committed to protecting in our lifetime. One of them you can see here, which is the orange-bellied parrot. And your clients' visits actually enable us to do all this great work that we do, which is very important. Otherwise, these animals, many of which their survival comes down to us. And so it's up to us to ensure they continue. Sorry, just driving this and it's not working. There we go. My favourite of the 27 species, and a very cute little one, is called the mountain pygmy possum. And he's a very, very cute little critter, about 10 centimetres in length, thought to be extinct, but was actually discovered near Mount Hotham in about 1966. Thought around 2,000 left in 2 pockets of areas up above the snow line. An interesting fact, they're the only hibernating marsupial in the world. And so they'll spend up to 7 months asleep above the snow line. And then this year, very good snow season. Unfortunately, no one's skiing, but so there'll be lots of them asleep at the moment. So Zoos Victoria, we have 3 properties. Melbourne Zoo, pretty much in the heart of the city, which is very much a traditional type of zoo with a large variety of animals, and we'll go into that more detail shortly. Healesville Sanctuary out in the beautiful Yarra Valley, which is famed for its wineries and lots of food and other attractions like Puffing Billy, and then which is all Australian animals. And Werribee Open Range Zoo, which is our African savanna type zoo, located about 30 minutes out of Melbourne on the main road to Geelong and the Great Ocean Road. So Melbourne Zoo, as I mentioned, your traditional sort of zoo, over 320 different species of animal, but lots of different areas that are fantastic for the event space, where we can have a lot of people in one area. Areas like Lima Island can accommodate up to 300. Lots of different keeper talks with between 150 to 300 packs. The Australian bush area, which is a fantastic one, especially for our friends across the pond, we can hold up to 400 packs through there. There are other encounters that we can add into the day's trip to Melbourne Zoo, and I'll go to one of those a couple of those in a moment. And then lots of dining options as well. So Leopard Lodge, over 240 packs, Lakeside about 100 packs, and I will talk a little more about food and bev later, but lots of outdoor options at Melbourne Zoo as well. And the beautiful part of Melbourne Zoo is its access. So it forms part of the hop-on, hop-off bus network in Melbourne, but also has its own train station and 2 tram stops. So from the CBD, it's about 4 minutes on either a tram or a train, and you're at Melbourne Zoo. So picture, a large-scale event, a few hundred clients on the train with bands playing in the trains or the trams, on your way to the zoo, and then organising transport back. So nice and simple. One of the tours this is more a small group one, so ideal for smaller events, or we can include it. We can go a little bit higher for exclusive groups. This is an early morning tour of Melbourne Zoo. It's predominantly around the Australian bush area, up to generally 15 packs, as I mentioned. We could run a second one at the same time and heading off to different directions. But it's a great way to see the zoo outside of our normal hours. So finishing 8:45, 10 to 9, something like that in the morning. A little bit of an earlier start, around 7:30 with the 7:45 start, but a fantastic way to do something prior to the start of the day. We could also match that up with a breakfast after the tour. I'll move on to Healesville, and again, part of the Yarra Valley. It's a magnificent location for those of you that know. Beautiful rolling hills, hundreds of wineries. And again, we work with many of them, so we can assist you with part of the MCB to put together a perfect day's itinerary out in the valley. But we have some amazing products out here, again, for groups and events, such as our Spirits of the Sky, which is our Australian native bird show. It's a seated auditorium that can hold around 800 packs outdoor. Lots of keeper talks. You have access to our Australian Wildlife Health Centre Hospital, Land of the Parrots, close-up encounters, again, lots of ranger tours And again, I'll go into more of them. Dining wise, we have the Brolga room, which is an exclusive dining area up to 120 packs seated, up to 220 stand up, and lots again outdoor options. A couple of the more exclusive products, our VIP Sanctuary Tour. Again, small group stuff, 8 packs to 10. We can push it a bit, and we can run a few of these per day, as I said, up to 3. But this is a 2-hour tour designed to leave at around 10:30 in the morning, finish just after midday, so perfect for them to go off for lunch with a ranger, small group with great access to kangaroos and koalas and lots of other Australian animals. If that timing doesn't work, we can actually put on rangers, 1 ranger per 20 packs, and we have that up to 600 going off at a time doing this, where they'll get a 2-hour guided tour with the ranger of the sanctuary. So it makes it a much more intimate and exclusive experience, especially when you're talking large groups. Quickly move on to Werribee before I run out of time. Fantastic property. Don't let my bosses know, but this is probably my favourite out of the 3. It's a beautiful location. The savannah is amazing. We have our buses that take you through the safari tour through the open savannah to see all the animals. We can carry up to around 250 per bus, and we have multiple of those buses. Another great one is our Crazy About Cats talk. So this is an African cat experience where you're again in a seated area, can hold up to 250 packs, and we can do exclusive tours for large groups as well. Lots of keeper talks, a beautiful Australian area, and that mountain pygmy possum, this is the only site of our 3 where you can actually see them. The other 2 sites, they're actually hidden away from the public in a breeding campaign. But here at Werribee, you can actually see the mountain pygmy possum. We have corporate encounters like our race around the zoo, which we're also developing for Healesville and Melbourne. These are a corporate program where you run around various checkpoints, a bit like the Amazing Race. Lots of encounters. We have a deluxe safari adventure, which is like our bigger bus safari adventures, but more intimate with a maximum of 20 packs. And if you want to take it that next step, we have our slumber safari, which is a glamping experience. And again, I'll go into that in more detail in a moment. And lots of dining options at Meerkats or Hippo Beach, which is a beautiful outdoor experience with the hippos, water features and things like that. And that can hold up to 400 packs. So quickly, our deluxe safari. Again, the open savannah, you get right up close to all the animals, and this is not a lie. You can get this close to the rhinos out in the savannah, and again, a fantastic addition to the day. And our Australia Trail, again, for our colleagues across the pond, a great way to see all those iconic Aussie animals, and especially to link this in maybe with a trip down the Great Ocean Road or something along those lines. Slumber up to, it says 31 there, my apologies, it should say 40. But a fantastic opportunity to get out of Melbourne, half an hour out of Melbourne, a beautiful luxury glamping experience with lots of tours, breakfast, dinner included, nighttime safaris, that sort of stuff as well. So I'm going to run out of time, so I'll have to keep moving. We were last year in the state government gave us $84 million to do a major redevelopment at Werribee. Opening 22-23 will be what's called our Sky Safari. So this will be a gondola ride that'll take you across the open savannah and across the whole of the property. So you'll actually be flying over the top of giraffe, rhinos, hippos, that sort of thing. An amazing experience. But also we'll be moving the elephants from Melbourne Zoo out to Werribee in a property location that's about 10 times the size of their current location. So that's all going to happen over the next few years. One of the things that really excites me about this will be dawn and sunrise trips. So we'll be operating this from sunrise to sunset. So again, on a trip back from the Great Ocean Road, coming through, having champagne, watching the sun setting over Melbourne, whilst you're going over the top of some giraffe and things like that. What an amazing experience. Lots of food and beverage options. Please contact us. We can have breakfast with the animals in the zoo before they open, morning, afternoon teas, lunch, takeaway packs, gala meals, everything that you can think of, we'll put it together. All the properties are fully licensed, and Indian and halal meals are available upon request. COVID-19, we've got, I heard this morning, Werribee's on its 17th COVID safety plan. So we are well protected, and your clients will be well protected as well. Contact details for myself and my little team. Hannah, who's based at Melbourne, and Donna, who's based out of Healesville. And that's about it. And I'll leave you a last little image of a beautiful little creature. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Stephen, and great to hear about all of those new exciting products that are coming on board. Something really exciting for us to look forward to. So now we'll just head to any questions. So please do type any questions that you have below. I know we've had a few come through that the guys have already answered, but we'll just give everybody an answer to those. So Peter asked what the star rating is of the Amora Hotel. It's a 4.5 star property, which is great. Otao Kitchen, can they facilitate online national classes? Yes, they can do online classes across Australia. So that's fantastic. So if you've got staff located in several locations or outside of Melbourne, really good idea coming up is over the next few months, as we're likely still to be in lockdown, a lovely way to do some virtual team building. And can we request a particular cuisine for a cooking class? Yeah, yes, they have a number of cuisines available, or you can request a specific meal or dish, and Ha and his team will work out if they can do it and source the ingredients. So it seems like there's some great flexibility there. If you have any other questions, we'll just wait a few minutes just to see if they're popped into the box. As I said, we will share the recording of this webinar. It also goes onto our LinkedIn and YouTube channels, so you can watch it or share with your colleagues to watch as you wish to do so. And we'll also be sending out the presentations from today as well. So no other questions coming through at this stage. Seems like all of the presentations have obviously been very thorough, which is great to see. Okay, we've got no more questions, so we might end it there. Thank you so much to Steve, Michelle, Meg and Ha today for your fantastic presentations. We will have another MCB webinar around the start of October. Somebody said, please thank the presenters. Yes, we do. They were wonderful presentations today. So if you do have any more questions regarding any of the properties or experiences that you've seen today, please get in contact direct. You will get all the contact details. And we really look forward to starting to helping you plan your events for 2022, where hopefully we'll all be meeting back in person. We'll all get to have a nice glass of something together and celebrate the hopeful end of these lockdowns. Otherwise, have a very pleasant evening, and we'll see you next month. Thank you.
Thanks, Joanna.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Everybody.
Goodbye.